Hi everyone, Arlene here. Today's card that I'm making is going to be made using the Rooted in Nature stamp set. There's a set of 16 in here, and you can see that a few of these are fairly large, so it actually comes in 2 cases instead of just 1. And then I'm also going to be using the Framelits dies, and this is a set of 12, and this is called the Nature's Roots Framelits dies. And some of these some of these dies correspond to the image in the Rooted in Nature set. So what's nice about that is if you do like to get both of these, they come in a bundle, so we save like 10% if you bought both of them together. So let me go ahead and set this aside, and then I will show you the card. Oops, show it upright for you. So I'll set that aside and let me show you the cardstock and the paper that I've used. I've got this pre-cut. So this is a piece of the crumb cake that was 8.5 by 11, and I cut it down the middle, and then I've scored it across here so that when it's folded, this is going to be the base of our card. Okay, like this. And then I also have a piece of mint macaron. And this is just 1/8 of an inch smaller than the card front base. So this is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 here. And actually I'm just going to go ahead and adhere that now to the front of my card. So you can see that I'm just a little bit of that crumb cake is going to be showing through. And I'm going to move my light just ever so slightly so you can see hopefully a little bit better. And then I also have a piece of a patterned paper. This is the Nature's Poem Designer Series paper. And this is, again, at 1/8 of an inch smaller than the mint macaron. So this is 4 inches by 5 1/4. So it's 5 1/4. And I'm going to adhere that just with my snail. And this is double-sided, so you can see that pattern there, which we'll be using here in just a bit. And that is going to be layered directly onto the mint macaron. Okay, and then we've got a piece of, this is Grapefruit Grove, and this is measures at 2.5 by 4 inches. And then here's the pattern paper, the same as the card base that I just adhered onto, but I'm turning it over and I'm going to be using the stripes here. This piece measures 2 3/8 by 3 7/8. All right, I'm going to be layering these two together, but before I actually adhere them, I want to cut a little bit out of here on the bottom. So just taking some scissors, I'm going to measure right in the middle, about kind of sort of. Just kind of snip it for now. And I want to make sure that the bottom edges are flush together before I cut. So we would center those so it's centered evenly left to right, but I want to make sure that the bottom pieces are flush, so you have not staggered them. Okay, and then with some scissors right in the middle, just cut up just a bit. And this doesn't have to be exact. And then I want to make sure that, and then I'm going to take from the bottom here, snip it to where I just made my cut before, right in the middle. And do the same thing on the opposite side where the actual center is going to be, so that where your 2 points meet when you're going up with your scissors. And so you've got like a banner look to it. And then because it's flush here, all I do is I just move my top pattern paper up ever so slightly, and that you've got a mat to go all the way around with that Grapefruit Grove. So I'll turn that over. We'll get this adhered on. Okay, so there we have. Let's go ahead and I'm going to adhere this. It's about the center of my card. And we'll put that on like so. And then now I've just got a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and I added the stamp of the tree to, it's just the single tree, to my block. And I think what I want to do is show you in the Grapefruit Grove. Just ink that up and then directly onto the Whisper White. Isn't that just, I love this stamp. I know I say that. I think I just love every stamp. I think I say that in every video, but it's fun. Okay, and then I'm going to be using my framelit, and it's going to go directly over. And I'm running it through my Big Shot. So I'll take my magnetic platform and place my sandwich, forming the sandwich. So take your plate and then put the paper and the framelit over that, center it directly there. Now remember, if you see that it's moving around, take a little piece of washi tape to adhere it on to make it stick so it doesn't move. Finish your sandwich with the other plastic plate and then run it through the Big Shot. Right, once it's ran through, we've got the Grapefruit Grove. I also, with the same image, made a mint macaron and also the crumb cake. So these are the three colors of the ink that I used. And then I want to just adhere them onto my card. So start with the crumb cake first. And I'm just using the Snail adhesive, but when it's really narrow like this, you can also use like a liquid, like the Tombow, or even like a fine line adhesive. And I'll put that up here. This looks almost a little crooked, doesn't it? Okay, and then take the Grapefruit Grove tree and just stagger that a little bit lower to the right hand side. And then with this mint macaron tree, I'm taking a little bit, I just used some Stampin' Dimensionals. Now these are the minis. And because it's got some more narrow edges on the side, and I want to place a little bit right there on the tree trunk. And I noticed even my Stampin', the minis are a little bit wider than what I need, so I'm just going to cut a little bit on the edge and place one piece on the bottom here, and then remove the backing paper. If you've never used the Stampin' Dimensionals before, I like them because they look like a honeycomb. You know, the bigger ones are like that as well. And so you're not having a lot of waste just on the edges. But I saved that to cut it for really small areas like this. Okay, and then that one's just got a little 3D look to it. Right there. Next, let's find some twine here. This is the Nature's Twine. And you'll see that everything I'm looking at, if you have a catalog, it's all in it's a suite. That's what Stampin' Up! In their catalog has grouped items together that really go well, like all of the products can. And so this is called the Nature's Poem Suite. If you have a new catalog, it is on page 142. It starts on page 142. So I took a little strip of that in the crumb cake color, and I'm going to just tie it here. Again, if you've seen my videos, you know that I am not the best at bows, but I'm going to try. I usually make a knot first, unless I have someone here to hold that for me to make a bow. But okay, yeah, that wasn't too bad. Okay, so we've got the little bow right here, and I want to put on some embellishments. These are called little leaves trinkets, and they come in different colors. It's a silver and a copper, and there's a gold in here. And I'm going to take this one right here. Now, when I made a card earlier, I noticed it was a little bit, to try to run this twine through, it was more difficult. It's actually, the openings are not quite big enough here for me. So what I did was just take a little mini glue dot, and I'm just going to use a glue dot to adhere it. Okay, and a couple more things here that we want to use for embellishments. I've got some Wink of Stella. This is the clear, and I'm going to use that on the trees. And it really gives a really subtle look of glitter, so it's not overpowering. And here, you might not even be able to see it really well. I kind of played around with it, but not sure if it would, be too much, or if it would be too much, like liquid would come out and really smear my trees, but it didn't seem to do that. And in the light is when it will catch it the best. I'm going to see if I can show that. Okay, and hopefully that catches that little glitter right there. especially when it dries, you can really see the glitter more. And it's just a hint, which I like. So it's called Wink of Stella, just a little wink of that. All right, and then the last thing I want to add are some of the little, these are the Share What You Love, the Artisan pearls. And I'm going to use the little green here, and on just on the bottom right of my my banner shape, I'm just going to put about 3 of these little pearls here. Like that. All right, and there you have it. A fun card using the Rooted in Nature stamp set. And this is the one that I've done ahead of time that has dried with that Wink of Stella on it. So hopefully that will bring up more of the glitter for you to see. It's really pretty. So thanks you guys so much for watching, and have a great day.